computer. Well, hello there. We're all here. So I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful as always that you are here. And I'm just going to get us started and going because it's the top of the hour and we are here at our monthly fireside chat with moi. And this is talk number 4. This is talk number 4 because we're 4 months into 2026. I mean, come
Wow,
on.
it's crazy how
How are
fast.
we here already? Seriously.
Mm.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I'm
welcome, welcome, beautiful souls. And we're going to begin as we always do. I got to get a new chair so I stop wiggling around because I notice in all the videos I'm doing this all the time because it doesn't feel comfortable anymore. Okay, let's begin the way we always do. So with the breath, right? So let's go ahead and inhale deeply and fully. And as you exhale, let your body soften, let your mind settle. There's nowhere else you want to be right now except right here in this cozy fireside chat. So, I always love to hear from each of you. And I think no matter how many times you say it, each time it's important to say it. So, your name, where you're joining from, and how about one word that describes how you're arriving here today? Just one word, what your presence is. And uh, so, name, location, one word. I'll call you in the order you came in. How's that? How's that?
Mm. Sure.
Um, L.
Well, I'm Lauren and I'm from Montreal and my word is calm.
Calm. That's nice.
Mm.
D.
Dawn. I'm from Wisconsin in the United States, and my word is open.
Open.
Mm.
Nice. A.
I'm Angela in Southern California, and my word is happy.
Mm.
Happy. And I'm Kisma from Newport Beach, California, Southern California. Angela and I are neighbors, not literally, but we're neighbors. And my word is, oh gosh, that's a weird word, voluptuous.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
So
What a great word, though.
it's a
Yeah.
cool word, and it was an interesting word to say. Oh gosh, that's too funny. That's
And
that's
I could never claim it, Kisma.
you're funny. Okay, so for those of you new here and just tuning in and watching the replay for the first time, so I have a theme, I share a theme, I share some ideas, some observations. I have a little activity for us today. We more or less just talk about the theme. So don't worry, those of you here will have plenty of opportunity to speak after I'm done. Don't you just love it? All right, you ready to begin? So I'm going to
Yeah.
name the theme. I'm naming the theme of this month, which is following the whisper. Following the whisper. What happens after the whisper? I once read a book called uh, After the Sacred Comes the Laundry. And I always thought that that was so profound, and it was written by a Buddhist monk. And I always thought that was so profound because it's so true. We live in a mundane world where we have to do basic uh, life things. And we come together and we're in ceremony and we go euphoric and we get as high as kites. And then we say blessings and farewell and we'll see you again. And we shut down our computer and we walk away and we go, oh, I got to sweep the floor. You know what I mean? So that's sort of the tone of what my theme is all about. And here at the Fireside for the last few months, we've really been returning to ourselves, I feel. First, we started and we've stepped out of that frenzy of FOMO because we really looked at that and we explored also what real community feels like, what it feels like to be a ghost or non-existent in a community versus being a member of the community and participating. And last month we remembered how to play. We really explored that and dipped into that. And so now something quieter has emerged for me, which is interesting because it's in the spring when action energy is starting to gear up, but we're still in a quiet pause with the springtime because everything is resurfacing but hasn't come into fullness yet, right? So it's kind of perfect. And I started to ask myself a question. The question I started to say to myself was, what what do I do with what I'm feeling? Or rather, what happens after that spark? What happens after that spark? And so today I would like to talk about something very subtle and I feel very important or powerful. It empowers us. The whisper, the nudge, that quiet inner knowing that says, this way. And I'm talking about creativity, right? This is all about creativity, but it also applies to many different aspects in our life. So here's my gentle observation I'd like to share with you. So I've noticed something over the years, and the most important moments in our life, they don't arrive as loud declarations. They don't shout, and they definitely don't come with guarantees. They do come quietly, a feeling, a curiosity, a pull, definitely a pull. And for me, a sentence that appears in my mind, an idea that won't leave me. It's like it pesters me. It's like a mosquito. And so often, I believe those types of moments get dismissed. We dismiss them as sometimes annoying because it's so small and because it's unclear. It doesn't come with a full plan of action or even a full a vision of what it is. But it's those whispers that I have come to recognize are truly the beginning of everything for me. In preparing for today, when I started to think back over my own life, so much of what has shaped me, especially creatively, didn't begin with certainty. It really truly has begun with a feeling, a quiet sense of, I think I'm supposed to, oh, I feel drawn to, I don't know why, but I'm going to explore, and I'm going to use my art journaling practice as an example of that. Um, when I do an art journal, I don't always start at the beginning. I open it up and I start in the middle or wherever I open up to. And then I might move backwards, I might move forward, I hopscotch around it, but rarely do I move sequentially from start to finish. And the other important thing is that when I am following that creative flow, there's rarely a plan. There's just a listening, right? A listening and a trusting that each small step is really enough. It's really enough. So, what I'm hoping for us to do, I know we each have experienced this to some degree, and we experience it over and over and over again. And one of the common, uh, brush off responses is, "Oh, I'm too tired." I'm too tired, which is something I'm hearing more and more as I get older, but it's okay because it's just a reminder also that my pace is slowing. It's a different pace. It's more Oh, it's like just gentle water in a stream, that's kind of just lilting along, nothing rushing or roaring or, wanting to merge into that flowing river. It's just a gentleness in my life. And I do trust that each small step really is enough for me. I really do. But I do want to use today to introduce the concept of reorientation, you know, by trusting that whisper that comes in. What if we didn't need the full path ever to start anything? What if we only truly need that next gentle step? Not the whole plan. When we travel, I mean, we kind of have an idea of where we're going to go, but we free flow off of a map. I don't know why that came in, but I felt a need to share that as an example. But what if clarity doesn't come before movement? What if you let go of needing clarity before a movement? You know, and just go with the movement. That whisper, like I said, doesn't give you the whole map. It never does when it comes to creativity, even when it comes to sacred experiences or following guidance from the divine. You just trust, right? You just hear it and you trust and you go for it, and what if your only job is to just take one small step toward whatever the whisper is, just one small step. Oh, let me pull out this art journal today. And you put it down and you walk away from it. And then the next whisper comes and you do the next. You open it up, or maybe you pull out your palette, you form a palette, or maybe the theme comes if there's gonna be a theme. You just kind of flow with it.
Mm.
And I think that's really important for us to begin to operate. So operate with or off of. So I have a fun little, I do have a fun little activity,
Mm.
an interactive moment. Do you want to do a little interactive moment? I'm going to call it the whisper practice. How's that?
I
Mhm.
love it.
The whisper practice. So I'm going to invite you to do something very simple. In a minute, we're going to take a breath and we're going to ask ourselves a question. And then as we exhale, we're going to kind of listen for 3 minutes. Not 3 minutes, but a minute or 60 or 30 seconds or whatever. And then I have it's like last month, I have three different uh, response practices to do. One is going to be writing, one is going to be doodling, and one is for anybody who wants to do an AI prompt. You can do one of them, two of them, all three of them, whatever you want to do in those three minutes. It's just explore. No, there's no pressure. There's no right answer. You can even just sit back and ask that question without any action and let the whisper come. That's going to be okay too. So because I'll allow 3 minutes of time, I'll put a timer on for 3 minutes, and you can even take a little cat nap. Does this sound like a good plan? Look at, I'm getting hot. Does this sound like a good plan?
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so here's our question. So I'm just going to walk you through it. And so we're going to inhale. I'm going to say the question. And as we exhale, we're going to go into like a 30-second listening for the whisper. Okay?
Mhm.
Okay, so get ready. You can close your eyes if you want to and just be in the space. Then I'll call you back. I'll call you back open-eyed. So just relax for a moment, settle in, just be here now. And here we go. Let's inhale. And as you inhale, ask yourself, what is whispering to me right now? Exhale and listen. All right, take a breath in and allow your awareness to come to your eyes as you open and come back into now. And remember, even if you heard the word nothing or silence, that's something. That's a whisper. If you heard one word, that's a whisper. If whatever you thought during that silence of listening, that's a whisper, right? We don't want to discount that. So now what I'm going to do is I have a writing prompt. Who wants to do a writing? I'll go through all three. Like last time I wrote little prompts for them. But if you want to write, you might want to just complete a sentence. Something is calling me, and it is. And then just write about that. Free flow, no editor, free flow. Or maybe you just want to doodle a small symbol, a design, something that's free flowing that represents the nudge you just listened to, no matter how grandiose or I'm not hearing it in anything, it might be. Or if you do go to AI, you might want to type in something that is like, show me the energy of what is trying to emerge in me right now. Just explore. No pressure. No right answers. This is truly listening to that whisper and just taking a step into whatever it was you heard. And I'm putting on a 3-minute timer. And if you need to hear anything again, just ask. Just ask. All right, our timeline has begun now. Oh, that's our 3 minutes. So go ahead and finish up whatever it was you were working on. 3 minutes
Oh,
goes
that was
by really
fast.
fast. I know. I know. Things do go by fast. So at this point, this is our sharing time. So if you would like to share what came through for you, of course, you're warmly invited to do that. If you would rather keep it private, that's sacred too. Either way is fine. But and you can share if you doodled, if you whatever. If you have comments about the topic, this is our discussion time. So it's open. It's open. Well, I'm
Is
going to
there
share my.
anyone
Go
who
ahead.
would like to go? Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
Mine, I took writing.
Okay.
Writing comes easiest to me. So I'll share what came through. Something is calling me, and it's from the deep darkness of creation. It is still unseen, and yet it pushes me forward to explore not only who I am now, but who I am becoming. Where the mundane is left behind to explore the star being I am, from a place far away, left behind in the shadows, but to become conscious to me once again. Forget about this reality, forget about limits, begin spinning the new story as old as time.
Oh, yeah. That's
Lovely.
beautiful. Beautiful.
Lovely.
Yeah. Thank you
Thank
for sharing. Well, I'll share mine. I just began. The first word I heard when I closed my eyes was love,
you. Oh,
and I started doodling a garden of love.
Hmm.
And then I was
oh,
getting ready to take it to an AI and say, spin me a garden of love made out of hearts. But I didn't get, just as I was going to that, the timer went off. So you get this.
Can I share the screen?
I think you can. Let me just make sure you've got the shareability. I think you can.
Okay. No, it says
Nope.
host.
Yep, I see that. Whoops, God, sorry, my bad. I'm
No
sharing
problem.
everything. Stop. All right, hold on. I do this every time, and I'm really, really sorry for that. Host tools for sharing. You see, that's the secret. All participants. You should be able to share now. Yeah?
I was called to go back and revisit this new symbols that I found this week. It's called a Koru, Koru, and it translates to loop or coil, and is a spiral shape based on the new unfurling of a silver fern frond, and therefore symbolizes new life, growth, and new beginnings. The circular shape represents the idea of eternal movements, as the inner coil of the Karoo suggests returning to the point of origin. It's a Morai, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Morai,
Or Alaskan from Alaska
no, I think it's,
or
I
New
think,
Zealand? New Zealand.
Maori.
yeah, I think it's New Zealand.
Okay.
The proverb speaks of rebirth and growth, says, as one fern frond dies, one is born to take its place.
Oh,
So
that's
that's
nice.
what came to me.
That's really
That is
nice.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Just beautiful.
Yeah, it's an ornament sold on Etsy.
Oh, very cool.
Hmm.
Are you going to get it?
I might.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
My turn, I guess.
Yes.
So, whispers, a gentle nudge to my consciousness that encourages me to take that first step. Sometimes that step is small. Other times I take that step that leads me into a forest, a meadow, another world. Something calls to me and I go.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Nice. Yeah. That's beautiful. These are all so deep. I'm going into the heart space. You're going into the outer space. You're going into the moray tradition. And Lauren, you're going into a portal, a threshold. That's pretty interesting. That when you look at all these whispers
Yeah.
and a step, that's a step.
Mm.
That's a step. Pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool. So does anybody have anything they want to share or add to the theme?
Mm.
Uh,
No,
I
I
guess
need to explore it.
Yeah.
I guess when I get whispers is when I'm in the middle of designing something
Mm.
and I get what I call the cosmic click. That's like the universe saying it's done, it's good, it's perfect. And that is such a wonderful feeling to have that validation in a sense, that whisper that it's done and it's good. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
get it with every poster, but when I do, it's really nice.
Yeah, it becomes ultra meaningful then. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, have you taken the cosmic click ones and put them into a special collection?
No, I haven't.
That might be interesting to do
Yeah, yeah, I will from now on.
because maybe they tell a story too.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean, Angela? An
yeah,
unfoldment.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don, I design inspirational posters that I send out every day. Um, Kisma and Lauren get them,
Oh,
and I'm willing to happy to send them to you if you have any interest.
Thank you. I do. I really, really do.
so just give her your email address and that's all
And
you need, right, Angela? Your her
right,
yeah.
put your email in the chat.
Okay.
They're well worth getting because they're so apropos and
Yeah.
perfectly timed.
Yeah. They're wonderful. Very inspiring.
Mhm. So, I think about think about how many whispers that do come that you just totally ignore.
Mm.
But is that okay? That's okay to ignore whispers, right? You
Well,
can't do everything.
no, but it's really interesting to me how they come and what stays where you go, I need to write it down,
Mhm.
or I need to do something with it, or I need to remember. And if you say, oh, I need to remember, does it stay, or do you get caught up in what everything else you have to do where it slips away?
I think both. I think or all. I think you said three things. All of it. For creatively for me, when the whisper comes, if I'm around the house, I instantly go and grab something and put it on my art station,
Mm,
and I know I'm going to return to it. Sometimes I stay with it right then and there, but half of the time it's, oh yeah, let me grab that. Like the other day, pulling out a tube of a green watercolor paint that's I just in a tube, that you have to mix up. I put it over there, and I was like, I guess I'm going to be painting some green things. But I'll start working with that. I think we're more definite when it comes to in taking an immediate step when it comes to anything of spirit or sacred. That those whispers we usually don't brush off, or at least I don't. I shouldn't speak for everybody. When the whisper comes, it's like, oh yeah, and I instantly commit it to my memory. So, and sometimes it is like that. Sometimes it's like, oh, really? And other times it's like, oh, yes. But it's met with non-emotion most of the time when I get a whisper.
yeah.
Hmm.
Well, and today I noticed that all of a sudden I had things come into my head. Just go in the basement and look.
And look,
And what do I find? I find my notebooks that I wrote everything in from 2008 through 2012. I
awesome.
was like, oh my God, I didn't even know where I had put these, and they just appeared.
Hmm.
And it's like, oh, I guess I better look at these again. Or books that have been on a shelf forever. And I look and I go, oh my God, that's where I put them. I mean, it's like crazy how the synchronicities are suddenly appearing. So some of my whispers are like knocks on the head.
Like, remember, hello, I'm here for you. Yeah, I've been getting whispers like that um, recently too, and going into the garage and like I'm like, where is that box? Where is that box? And like I feel like I'm a radar. Where's that box? Where's that box? you know, and then all of a sudden it's like, there it is. And a couple of times I've needed to have Jack come out and actually get it down for me. But yeah, but I'm going right to where the whisper is telling me to go, you know. And I think I think when it comes down to it, when we take the step on a whisper, it's because we truly trust.
Mhm.
We truly trust. We're a trusting individual, you know. If we didn't truly trust, um, that's when certain whispers we'd go, oh no, that's silly, and
That's not the whisper. That's the critic.
that's the critic. That's right. That's when the critic comes in and negates, right? Because it's our inner critic that what? Talks us out of an opportunity. Yeah,
Mhm.
talks us out of an opportunity by negating that whisper. And it's just pure laziness that doesn't take the step on a whisper. Like, oh, I'm so tired right now. I'm just going to go lay down on the bed and take a cat nap. I'm taking more cat naps and I'm enjoying them. And I don't feel, I have no like emotional response other than the fact of, oh, yeah, look at how the sun's coming in through the slider. And if I put a pillow right here and I lay right here, it's going to be right on my face. That feels so good. Look at, I'm talking
Mhm.
myself into sleep right now. Oh, oh yeah. Did you get her, Angela? She put her email.
Yes,
Oh,
I
you got
got
it
it.
right. Okay, good, 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 good. Good,
Thank
good.
you, Angela.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty special.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does anybody, what? Someone, I just heard someone inhale.
It was me. I was just thinking, too, we talk a lot about the whispers that come at the beginning of something, but we also have whispers as we're in the process of doing things. And I think that's often where that inner critic comes in. We're doing something and the inner critic says, "Oh, that's crap." And you kind of step back. And so, there's we need to replace that inner critic with something more encouraging so that we take that next step again into the work that we're doing.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I in the visionary artist path classroom, I have it's either a gym or a inspiration all about the critic with some real, I think, good affirmations on how to, like when the tape starts to replay, how to stop that critic tape,
Yeah.
and how to replace it with a simple I am an artist.
Yeah.
Oh, you know so
I
Mhm.
know what I'm doing.
yeah, and just go for it, because you know what, why do you say those things to yourself?
Yeah.
Whose voice is that talking to you that you're
Yeah.
imitating and repeating? That's
Mm.
what you got to look at.
Yep.
That's what you got to look at, because we're not initially a critic.
No.
Mhm.
We're taught how to be a critic.
Mhm.
Who is your role model? And then bless the good in that person and release them. You know, bless the good in them. Life is so interesting. It's such a taking your symbol, Angela, it's such a spiral. Every turning of that spiral is a new ring of wisdom, just like in a tree, the trunk of a tree, all those rings of wisdom and experience and knowledge. It's just so incredible. Anybody
And
else have anything they want to share?
and for me, the inner start of the spiral is the divine.
Is the divine. I would agree with that. I support that for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Well, I do have, as always, an affirmation ritual I'd like to share with you. So it's very simple, but I think it's worthy. So just place either hand on your heart, or even both hands on your heart if you want to. Just close your eyes and go into your heart chakra, your heart center, and just take a nice, full, gentle breath. And exhale. And if you need another one, do it. And then very softly, just say to yourself, I trust what calls me. And breathe again. And exhale. And gently say to yourself, I take the next gentle step. And Breathe again. Just exhale. And now just affirm. I don't need the whole path. So I trust what calls to me. I take the next gentle step. I don't need the whole path. But to always affirm that to yourself in your heart space, in your heart chakra, loving yourself. When we put our hands onto our heart like this, we're really loving ourselves too. You know, we always do that in a response to someone else. Oh, I feel for you. Oh, I'm connected to you. Oh, I love you. But when we just be with self and close our eyes, that is self love at its purest. At its purest. So, unless someone has anything to say, I will bring our fireside chat to a close. All right, so I'd like to give a closing blessing as I always do. As
Dawn,
you,
did Dawn want to say something?
I was just going to say that after the affirmations that Kisma stated, that at the end I heard, I trust,
I
I trust,
good.
I trust.
Yeah, yeah, I trust. Definitely beginning and ending with trust. The Alpha and the Omega. I've really been into the concept of Alpha and Omega this week. Alpha and Omega, beginning and ending, because you begin with of essence or a vibration, and as you move towards the end of that, it becomes so amplified, you know. So it's a whole nother, a whole nother, a whole nother cycle. I think maybe I don't know, but I like to pretend I know sometimes. All right. Anyone else have anything they want to share before we close? Okay. So as you move through your days, may you notice the quiet nudges, notice them, those little whispers. And when they come in, trust the small pool that comes with the whisper. Really trust it. And may you follow what feels true, even when it doesn't yet make sense, right? Because that whisper is not random. I'm a firm believer in that. It's not random because it's your life calling you forward. So, thank you.
Thank
For
you, Kim.
sitting with me by the fire again this month.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Each month has been so different, hasn't it?
Yeah, very interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And I want you to know the whisper was to do a play, to play with the three things again. But I'm already hearing to tell you all, don't worry, we're not going to duplicate that a third time. So it is good. It is good. So, all right. Thank you. And those of you out there in viewerland watching this replay, thank you. I hope you received something of value from it. All right, hearts filled with love coming out. Bye. Bye for now.
Bye bye.